Basically, the Blue Jays have to get permission from the Canadian government in order to play because they're in Canada, not the U.S.
Good old Canada.
They might have to move the Blue Jays for this season.
So you want to move the Blue Jays to Texas?
The Texas Blue Jays.
The East Division will get a whole lot easier.
Welcome to the one and only Fried Chicken Dingers podcast. We're your hosts, Shabab Amman.
A group of former Little League teammates based in Amman, Jordan.
With a taste for fried chicken.
Join us as we discuss the latest news,
rumors,
theories,
and opinions in the world of baseball.
Join us monthly for...
Wait. Guys, do you seriously think we're going to be able to do that monthly?
Barry!
Okay, sorry.
Join us monthly for all things baseball, from fans of the Yankees, Reds,
Twins,
White Sox,
Tigers,
Dodgers,
and the A's, right here on Fried Chicken Dingers.
Baseball is back.
What?
For real
Welcome back, boys. It's been a minute. We're all back together except for Josh, who is working hard up in Alaska.
Yep.
So, Josh, be safe. Don't get corona because then we'll have to kick you out.
Exactly.
But yeah, we're back, boys.
We are.
How we doing?
Pretty good.
Decent.
Excited for baseball, finally.
Very excited for baseball. It has been too long since we have watched baseball. Well, not David.
Well, David's been watching the KBO religiously.
It has been too long since we've watched the Major League Baseball.
Yeah. Major League Baseball. Anyway, we are back to our regular episodes. Mm-hmm. Now that baseball's back, it might be a little bit different since the season is different, which we will get to in a sec. But we should celebrate because just like 15 minutes ago, we realized we have passed 500 plays.
Let's
go!
Let's go!
500.
Thank you guys so much, all three of you. We really appreciate you. Mom, I love you, Mom. Thank you.
Yes.
and thank you to the Skiotises for listening.
Yes. And just like Dude Perfect, we'll be planning our live tour soon, and then hopefully a documentary after that.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
So stay tuned. But yeah, in all seriousness, whoever listened, thanks.
Whoever you
we didn't
are.
think we'd make it this far. We're almost at exactly 6 months. I think in 2 days it'll be 6 months.
Oh, dang.
Of this podcast, and we didn't expect to make it this far, but we have. So
okay, well,
you're not supposed to tell them that, Pesky.
This far.
But here's to 500 more.
Amen.
Yes, indeed. And half the time.
And we've got a big announcement coming up. I think we'll save that for a little later in the episode. So yeah, let's jump right into it. Baseball. How did we get to a season? How about that?
Oh my word, that was not a fun time. Me being the only one following this on Twitter had the biggest headache out of these guys.
Yes.
So basically, it's been, if you haven't been following this, it's been back and forth complaining about money and how many games for like 3 months now at least. And nobody could get any ground. And so eventually the players, they want more games and more money, and the owners want less game and more money for them. And so it's this big thing. Eventually the players just gave up and were like, all right, you do whatever you want. And then the owners were like, well, now I guess we're not having baseball. And then it was crazy, and we eventually agreed to the thing that was agreed upon back in March. 3 months of negotiations out the door for nothing.
Yes.
It was wonderful.
And at least we have baseball back.
Oh, God.
So what does the new season look like?
Who would like to give us the rundown on the new season? I feel like this episode is just going to be mostly Noah talking.
Probably.
The biggest difference is obviously the 60 games. And normally, of course, it's 162 games, so this will be significantly shorter, which means that basically if a team in the regular season gets hot for a certain period of time, it doesn't necessarily determine what happens to them in the playoffs, but in this case it could definitely
But yeah, this is a total game changer, because think of all the teams that have either gotten off to a really hot start and then completely tanked later in the season, or all the teams like the Washington Nationals last year that got off to a really terrible start and then, got some momentum going into the second half of the season, and they made the playoffs, and the Nationals ended up going all the way.
And all the teams that had like a really bad start and kept it up, it's going to make no difference for them.
Exactly.
Yeah, White Sox.
Yeah, so another difference between this year and last year, obviously, is we're playing with empty stadiums.
Are we playing with
Because
empty
of
stadiums?
For now,
Yeah.
we are playing with empty
Okay.
stadiums, except for all stadium personnel that aren't doing anything at that exact moment. They can stay socially distanced in the stands, but there are no fans.
Okay.
Right.
Because I had seen something about the Cubs wanting to get 50% capacity. Have you heard anything more about that?
I haven't heard anything else about that, but I know that
They didn't.
as soon as the teams can have fans, they are going to at lower capacity, but that depends on the state and as well as other stuff happening in the country, whether there's another outbreak or whatever.
Yeah. That would be crazy. Just imagine like a World Series with only several thousand people there. Like with the attendance of like a AAA game in the middle of the season.
Oh, man.
Crazy.
That would suck.
Yeah.
I mean, the Mets and the Yankees probably are gonna have fans like the whole season. That is.
Well, nothing will change for the Mets.
Or the Orioles, or the White Sox.
Or the
Yeah.
Marlins.
Dude, we're only talking about major league teams.
Oh,
That's
my
true,
bad.
that's true.
Yeah.
Another big difference is there's going to be a universal DH this year.
Dude, I'm
Oh.
so excited for that.
It's about time.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
I
What do the
Finally.
what do our NL boys think about that?
Cool.
Well, never mind.
Okay, well, I'm
Jacob.
very excited for it because that means that pitchers don't have to hit anymore, and pitchers hitting is not fun, was not fun, is not fun, and never will be fun to watch.
That's a lie.
That is not a lie. I mean,
Big
Michael
Sexy's
Lorenzen.
home run.
There are exceptions.
Bartolo.
For the overwhelming majority of cases, nobody wants to watch a pitcher.
Mhm.
Right.
Amen. Pitchers hit 118.
If
in
they're lucky,
2018.
that is not a bad hitting pitcher.
And then they hit 125 in 2019. So maybe they're improving, but
The Mets pitchers hit better than the White Sox. I think it was right fielders last year. So we might want our pitchers to.
and pitchers struck out like 43% of the time in all of their at bats the entire season. Like 43% of the time was a strikeout.
Yeah. Who's on your team? Michael Lorenzen.
Michael Lorenzen.
Yeah.
He can hit though.
Yeah, but you can just put him in center field.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I saw another thing.
Rich Hill was not doing so great with the bat.
I saw an article that said Nick Senzel is probably going to be the DH because of his defensive struggles, but he's obviously, a beast at the plate.
Yeah.
But I could also see Lorenzen for sure.
Yeah.
But is Lorenzen a beast at the plate?
For a pitcher.
I mean, for a pitcher, for sure. But, as just a DH.
He does quite well with hitting. Like, he gets a lot of base hits, not just, like homers. He gets a lot of... Most of his hits, though, are, like, doubles or triples.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, he could be. Probably not, though.
Yeah.
Didn't the Reds put him in at DH against one of their AL
Yeah.
games last year? So he can DH. He has DH before. So
I wonder who will DH for different National League teams. Like, there are some national teams who have an obvious DH position. Charlie Blackmon.
I was going to say,
I don't know who's going to DH for the Dodgers.
Man, I still got like a very weird feeling when you said Nick Senzel will DH for the Reds. I was like, wait, whoa, what? It's just like crazy to even think about, get used to.
Yeah.
I also saw a quote from the Reds manager, or not the manager, I think either the GM or the owner, and he said this team is built for a DH. And he said this like a few years ago, and I was like, wow. Like he definitely he's very optimistic about having a DH in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So-
all it took was a global pandemic.
The Reds
Wait,
started
so-
it all.
Conspiracy theories. Red start Corona.
First we thought it was the Astros. Now we think it's the Reds. What's going on here?
I don't know.
Reds,
What if it's?
Astros.
Oh my gosh, they're in cahoots.
No.
Oh no!
Uh-oh.
And now they're gonna end up in the World Series together.
Oh gosh.
Oh, no.
Two biggest scandals in baseball history. They're working together.
Okay, let's see. There's another big change to the season this year, and that is because there is no minor league season. There won't be any minor league season in 2020. Hopefully, there will be in 2021, but we will.
should
That
be.
remains to be seen. So, anyways, there'll be a 60. It's kind of weird, but there's still an active 40-man roster.
No, there's the active 25.
Okay,
there's the
yeah,
40
the active
man
25,
and the 60
40
man.
roster, and then this year there's also a 60-man roster, and I assume the other people on the 60 roster, or the 60-man roster, are what is being referred to as the taxi squad.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're basically they can travel around with the team, and they can be within 20 minutes or however far of the team if they were to be needed. But then I'll let Noah talk about some of the intricacies.
There
since he has his phone,
a
but
lot of
yeah, there's some
complex stuff going on.
very
with
interesting
this,
rules regarding.
Yeah,
That's
so
interesting.
while he's looking it up, first and foremost, the MLB is very concerned about safety, obviously. So every day, the players will be checked for temperature twice, and any symptoms, any flu-like or fever symptoms, and they will be required to sit out and I think to leave.
They'll be put on the COVID IL basically.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
So-
which
so
Noah
they're-
will get to in a minute.
right, so they're definitely taking all these precautions to prevent the spread because baseball players.
And they're
like-
also being tested every other day, right?
yeah.
Yeah, every other day they're tested, and then I think every month they're being tested for antibodies. Or
Oh,
yeah, I think so.
Something
something
like
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, obviously in the dugout, if the virus gets in there, it's going to spread like wildfire. So they're being very careful with that.
Mm-hmm.
And then any player who tests positive will not be allowed to return until he tests negative twice.
Right.
So
Right.
So hopefully it won't be too big of an issue, but they're treating it in a way that if it does, which it most definitely will happen, then hopefully it won't shut down the league or anything like that.
Yeah.
So with this 60-man roster, it's kind of complicated. So if a player's not on the 40-man roster, they cannot be removed unless they're released. So that would mean they're released from the
They
organization.
don't have to be released. They can also be put on but they
No,
have
no.
to be.
If they're on the 40-man and the 60-man, then they'll be exposed to the waivers. If they're just on the 60-man, then they're just straight up released.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
If they test positive, they'll be placed on the COVID-19 IL, and that won't count against the 60-man roster and can be replaced on the 60-man roster. But when he comes back, the replacement player is subject to the rules outlined in the last two that I just read.
So the player who
Unless
replaced him on the 60-man roster is released.
or if he was on the 40-man, then he'll be exposed to the waivers.
Okay.
Unless there's an outbreak, which is defined as 3 or more players testing positive, then they may be replaced on the 60-man by players who would not be subject to being released or put on the waivers. Yeah.
So what that means is if any big leaguers get corona, then 2 low-level minor leaguers are going to all of a sudden start feeling sick.
Something like that, yeah.
That'd be
Or- No, not necessarily, because just the replacement will get put onto the roster. Because, they're not going to release any major leaguers because of this.
No, obviously not.
Yeah.
But, if 2 other people got
Right,
sick,
right.
then
Yeah,
you would
yeah.
forego
that's true,
all the
that's true.
regulations.
I don't know what I think. I think that's kind of really complex,
Mm-hmm.
and it doesn't make that much sense. I mean, it does, but I don't know. It kind of
We
seems
don't
like,
really care.
Yeah, we don't really care, and we don't really get it, but it's happening, and we should know about it just in case some random minor leaguer that you're attached to gets
Can't
released.
keep up.
Tim Tebow,
Oh,
looking
man,
at you,
he's still
Josh Dobb, gets released for unexpected reasons. Now you know why.
So, I assume the 60-man roster can be anybody in your organization, but
Yeah, I think so.
was there something on there also about free agents? Anybody who signs a free agent, you can still sign free agents during the course of the season, but anybody who
the trade deadline is August 31st.
yeah, but if you do sign a free agent, they have to go on the 60-man.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, which that's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. So very interesting roster stuff.
Puig is unsigned, correct?
Puig is unsigned currently.
So if anybody signs him,
So is Cologne. He hasn't technically retired, I think.
I think isn't he still playing in the Mexican League?
yeah, he's playing in Mexico, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Darn.
Dude,
We'll get
Big
him back for
Sexy will
2021.
Never retire.
I feel like the Reds should get him.
Jacob's
That'd
not
just be a
saying
perfect
anything.
fit. As a DH.
Yes.
Yes. His pitching, but as a DH, that's where he's gonna shine.
Was built for a DH.
Oh yeah.
And by a DH, I mean Bartolo Colon.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of Bartolo Colon, if you haven't already, go listen to our last episode where we go over the makings of the Big Sexy Burger.
Oh yeah.
It is actually one of our best episodes to date. So please go have a listen.
That was a smooth transition.
That it
was a
was.
very
It wasn't a
smooth
transition. Yeah. You know what? Now
Yeah,
I'm
it
ruining
was.
it.
Yeah, kind of you are.
No, you ruined it.
Yeah, I was gonna say. You know what
It's
ruins
smooth.
it? Talking about it.
I think one of the biggest, most noticeable changes about this season is that you're only playing against people in your division and then the same area. So Central teams will play Central teams, West teams will play West, East will play East. So you're going 10 games against each of the people in your division, and then 4 games against each of the people in your area's other division.
I cannot wait to watch the Astros-Dodgers series.
Oh, that's going to be
man.
fun.
You know who can wait to watch the Astros-Dodgers series?
Yeah. Unfortunately, there won't be any fans to boo them.
I know.
Yeah.
This was going to be the season that we all unite and boo the Astros,
Oh my God.
but now we can't.
People should congregate outside MLB stadiums that the Astros are playing in.
It's probably going to happen.
That's going to happen.
Just everybody shows up with like a loudspeaker.
And torches.
Yeah, you guys know like how different sports pages will post like the betting odds for different things, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you guys saw it, but someone made one for like the chances of which Astros player is going to get hit the first.
Oh.
So yeah, I mean Bregman, Altuve, and Correa were at the top of that list, and I think the last one was Reddick, which I found really surprising because I think Reddick, I forgot, but a while ago Reddick said something that was like really dumb, and
Well, but he also got really human because he talked about how him and his family were receiving a lot of death threats, so everyone sympathized with him then.
oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Man, screw the people who sent him death threats. Not just because now we can't be mad at him anymore.
That's true.
As you can tell, I'm a
Right,
fantastic person.
Who's your money on?
To get hit the most? Bregman.
Or well, first, not the most, but first.
Oh, first. Who's batting first in the lineup?
Correa.
Correct.
Yeah, if,
Springer.
if
Correa.
whoever's
Correa.
leading off, that's
Springer's
who's
at
getting
the
hit
top,
first.
But
Springer's not going to get hit.
No.
yeah, Springer's too likable.
Do we have
I don't
opening
know.
day matchups yet?
I saw
I don't
that
know.
Garrett Cole and Max Scherzer was going to be a matchup.
So that would imply
Dude, that's gonna
Yankees
be
Nats.
That's going to be
That would
such a
be
good game.
Interesting opening day. It's a shame I'll be watching the White Sox.
Same.
I will not be watching the Dodgers game
Well, it might
because
be at night,
there
and that
was
could be in the day.
almost
you don't
a
know.
100% chance that the Dodgers game will be at 3 a.m. So
No, it is upsetting about the new way the teams are playing each other. The Reds won't be able to sweep the Dodgers this year.
So sad.
Oh, man.
oh my gosh.
Don't worry.
Oh
Well,
my
the A's will do it for you,
Dude, I swear, it's
Sounds
in
good,
60
sounds good.
years, Jacob's still going to be talking about the time that the Reds sweat the Dodgers in a 4-game series. Well, grandkids, gather round. Let me tell you a tale for the ages.
I'm gonna go visit Barry when we're like really old, and I'll go up to his grandkids. I'll be like, No,
you're gonna walk up to my grandkids and you're gonna be like, you see, this is a broom. You know what you do with the broom? You sweep. You know who else sweeps? The Cincinnati Reds
against the Dodgers.
Watch them have done it like every year since.
Oh my word.
I'm never gonna live that down.
Oh no.
Nope.
That is our second episode, by the way, if you were wondering. Our entire second episode revolves around Jacob's board game sweep.
Yeah.
So go and listen to that if you haven't yet.
Yeah.
Well,
Let's see. What other news?
there was another change. I forgot what it was.
Well, the spring training is no longer in Arizona or Florida. It is actually in the facilities of all the normal facilities, normal stadiums.
So are they gonna play games? I didn't.
They're gonna play 3 games, I think, and you have the organizations have to organize it, and yeah, so you'll play 3 games. I think it might be all against the same team. I'm not sure, but
Probably.
3 exhibition games basically.
Can you call it an exhibition game if nobody's watching?
Yes.
Manfred will.
Well, people will still be watching, just
Oh, that's
not
true, yeah.
live. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not on the stadium.
Let's see. Does anybody know if the Toronto Blue Jays got permission
Oh,
to
I'm
play?
not sure yet.
We should explain
What would
that.
happen
Yeah,
if they
so-
don't?
Well, first let's explain what's going on.
Basically, the Blue Jays have to get permission from the Canadian government in order to play, because they're in Canada, not the U.S. And I'm not so sure that's gonna happen.
Good old Canada.
So I don't know what they do. They might have to move the Blue Jays for this season.
Could they even do that?
I don't know.
Well, I mean,
Like they'd have to go to some other stadium. I don't
Just
know.
include the Yankees AAA team in the MLB. They're good enough anyway.
No, we need all those
What
guys
is-
for when our players get injured.
That's true.
what did
What's the closest stadium?
Did they
to
tear down the
Toronto?
Rangers' old stadium, or is it?
I
I don't think they
I
did.
don't think they did.
could play there.
They're turning it into like a college football field or something.
Yeah,
like
Oh well, never mind.
That's gonna take a while though.
that. Yeah.
They
So
could
you want to
play.
move the Blue Jays to Texas?
That's not a great
Blue
idea.
Jays.
The East Division would get a whole lot easier.
Honestly, I think just find the biggest minor league park and just actually not even. You don't even need that because like there's not going to be fans anyway. So just put
Oh,
'em
shoot,
at a
that's true.
decent sized park,
You don't
like
even-
one
it
that's
doesn't-
major league sized, like not the stadium, the park
I mean,
itself.
but aren't they all major league size?
Not necessarily. They have weirder dimensions.
But not like in AAA. In AAA,
AAA
they're
is a
fairly
little bit
standard.
better. Yeah, they're more standard in AAA, but
Yeah.
yeah, honestly, just move them to a different park and.
Move them to our park.
Oh
Amman.
yeah,
Oh,
Amman.
Ramadan Field.
I don't know where
The
that
amount of dingers that would be hit.
Dude, the amount of players who would
Get
die
injured.
from ground balls shooting into their faces.
I want to see Nolan Arenado play on our field.
Although, there is a chance that he would just make us all feel really bad about ourselves.
Yeah,
I
Yeah,
feel like
probably.
that's exactly what would happen.
And there went our excuse. Let's see. Is there any other pressing
There's
news?
one more major change, but I'm
Okay.
forgetting what it was.
Okay. Shall we stall while
don't
Noah
know
is
it.
trying to remember?
I think now's a good time for our big announcement.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
Pasky,
in the
take it
middle.
away.
Pasky, would you like to make the announcement?
I would. So, we've been doing some networking on social media.
By
We
we
tried first
mean
with-
Noah.
Hi.
Excuse me. What about my
And-
whole
and
conversation
Pasky.
with John Boy?
Oh yeah.
Well,
Okay.
okay, yeah, sure.
Whatever.
And by
Anyway,
we mean Noah and Pascal.
There we go.
We've been trying, and I tried it with John Boy Media, another big baseball content creator. You probably heard of him. If you're listening to us, you definitely heard of John Boy. But anyway, Noah got in touch with a new podcast social networking app called Good Pods. And basically, what Good Pods is it's kind of like a social media app. You can create an account, have a profile, all that standard stuff. But it's specifically for podcasts. So you can find almost any podcast anywhere. on the app. You can listen to it. It'll show up on your feed. You can write comments or even interact with the creators of the podcast. And the point is that as you grow your network, your friends list, those friends can see what podcasts you listen to and listen to those, and their friends can see it, and so on. So it's kind of like builds on word of mouth advertising. And it's supposed to basically help connect people, connect podcasts, and also give podcasts that are not very well known, such as ours, more exposure just to make it easier for people to find, because there's a lot of content out there. Anyway, Noah got in touch with the co-founder of it, of Good Pods, and we had a meeting with her, and we have an opportunity to actually be featured on their app at a certain point, as like kind of like the pick of the week sort of thing, because they're a very new app, and we're one of the first, I think, baseball or even sports podcasts to really be in touch with them. So we have this really exciting opportunity to work with them and maybe even get featured. But we do need you guys' help for it. So there will be posts on Instagram and probably Twitter as well, and Facebook with more details. But just real quick, what we need you guys to do is download the Good Pods app on the App Store and Google Play. It is free. Make an account and then follow our account, our profile at Fried Chicken Dingers. Give us a follow, and then just listen to one of our episodes on the Good Pods app. So you just need to play any one of our episodes, make sure it shows up on your feed so your friends can see it, and that's all we need. And please do it, because we really want to jump in this opportunity. And Good Pods is actually quite a good idea. Some of us already have the app. We've been using it a little bit, and it is a good. We think it's a good idea. This is not a paid promotion. They're not paying us to say this.
They're not paying at all.
They're not paying us at all.
The Good Pods app is actually really good. I've only had it for a couple days, and it's probably already my favorite app to listen to podcasts on, because it's really easy, and you can easily share it to everyone that's following you. And all the guys here are dying laughing because there's a dog outside barking.
There's a dog outside barking, and we all know it's going to take David an hour to edit out, so it's so much fun. He's just cringing every time it barks.
Oh, man.
Okay.
So go and give us a follow and a listen on Good Pods. Explore the app. It's really cool. This isn't paid. We want to take advantage of this opportunity, and we think the app offers a lot of things that like Spotify and Apple Podcasts don't offer. So go and check it out.
And then, Noah, did you find the thing that you were trying to find earlier?
No, but I found something else that is equally as important, I think. So I'm not sure if this was in the final agreement, but I'm pretty sure it was proposed that the Players Union proposed that the teams would be able to sell ad space on the jerseys, basically.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah.
GoFundMe.
Wow.
Yeah,
so this is soccer now.
It's basically soccer, whatever you want.
Dude, we're about
You
to
know,
go.
If
full
it
on
replaces
NASCAR.
the Nike swoosh, I'm good with it.
No, we're still going to have the
It's not
Nike
gonna
swoosh.
replace
It's just going to be worse. There's just going to be more of them.
If it overshadows
Before
the
you know
Nike
it, they're going to be wearing shorts, Nike shorts.
Oh my word! Bring back those White Sox throwbacks
Oh,
with the
God.
shorts and the polos. Yes.
Does anybody else have anything, or is that it?
We'll see if a pitcher can go 12-0 this season.
That would be interesting.
That would, yeah, that would be
That would be
crazy.
very interesting. Yeah, there's a lot of opportunities for like new records and stuff.
Yeah.
I did have one thing actually. Like I was reading a thing, and also I agree with it. But whoever wins the World Series this year, it's gonna kind of suck because it's not.
It's gonna
like,
be the Dodgers.
Probably. I mean, like it'll be a really fun season to watch, especially given the circumstances. But like winning a postseason or like a championship after 60 games, like everyone's gonna know that it like it's not gonna feel like you could have done it also in a 162 game season.
I don't
which is
know.
unfortunate.
I think.
Really?
I think with the regular season, yes, you're not. It's not going to be a real season, really. Like none of the records we can really count. Like if someone hits like 450 or something, we can't count that. as like a record because it's only 60 games.
I don't think anyone's gonna hit 450.
No one's gonna hit 450, but it
or
was just
400
a
Somebody
random
hits
example.
450.
or 350.
It was an example, okay?
Yeah.
But I
sorry.
think the postseason. I think the postseason counts because it's still a postseason.
Well,
Yeah.
I think isn't it in the MLB bylaws or whatever that you have to have 60 games in a season for the postseason to count?
I think it's 50. 50 for a postseason to count.
okay. It's either 50 or 60.
Anyway, it
But
counts.
I think the postseason
Technically.
definitely counts. Whoever wins the World Series, I think it's legit this year. Like, because you still won the World Series. And yeah, the season might have been different. You're facing different people. And so there might be different teams in the playoffs, but they're still the playoffs. So I think that you can put an asterisk next to the season, but I don't think you can put one next to the title this year. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, and it's also, I mean, it's still an even playing field for all the teams.
Yeah.
It's not like cheating in the sense where one team has an advantage. It may be a different game all around, but it is the same game for everybody regardless.
Yeah, I mean, whoever wins is still the best team of 2020.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
The other thing that I am excited for is a 60-game season will make every game count.
Every game counts.
Yeah,
okay.
Every game is basically
That's
3
true.
games. this
exactly.
season.
Right. Huge.
So every game is a series. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is a really cool dynamic because then the whole thing about momentum and like your roster picks and your lineups become so much more important.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Which is really fun to watch, and I just can't wait to just watch baseball.
Same.
Yeah.
In English.
Yeah.
But David over here watching his KBO every night in Korean.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Go listen to our third Corona special
Yeah.
if you haven't already. That's when we talk about the
It's
KPO.
actually a really good episode as well.
We have been getting some mad plugs in this episode, boys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Bears ruined all of them.
Shut up, Kel. Okay, well, I think that is all we have
Oh, yeah.
for this episode.
As of when you're watching this, or listening rather, the Spring Training 2.0 will be in full effect, or
Nice.
starting up at least. Pitchers and catchers will be reporting, and players
Yep.
should be reporting within a few days. Make sure you check us out on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, MySpace. We don't post on MySpace, but we still have an account
And definitely go follow us on Good Pods.
on Good Pods
Yes.
at Fried Chicken Dingers. And we do have a YouTube channel. We haven't been
Okay,
posting in a while. Nobody listens to our YouTube channel.
Nobody
But
cares
just
about
in
the
case
YouTube
you
You
want
can just
to.
edit that out, David.
Listen,
Put a dog bark there.
Yeah.
yeah, that's all for this one. Listen wherever podcasts are listened to, especially Good Pods.
Yeah.
Except Google Podcasts.
Not
still,
Google
because
Podcasts, because they still have
they have
standards.
Yeah.
We will probably see you next around the start of the season. Either before or after.
Oh,
or
yeah.
Sometime around then. Just stay tuned.
July
The
23rd.
start of the season. That sounds good.
We never mentioned that it's July 23rd. What are we doing?
Okay. Well, thank you for tuning in. Go check us out on Good Pods, and we will see you next time.
Ciao.
Signing out,
See ya.
Fried Chicken
See ya.
Dingers.